Hello guys and welcome to another video. So today, what are we doing? We are celebrating another milestone. Thank you guys so much for getting this channel to this amount of subscribers. I am so happy and so proud of you and of me and of everyone in general. It's just like a very good time to be proud. I've actually done this twice before, I think. The first time was celebrating 300 subs and it was at the beginning of the year, I think. Oh my god, the memories. And then the second one, I'm pretty sure, was for 1,000 subs, which was also crazy to me. And then the third time I did reacting to your assumptions about me video instead of a Q&A for reaching 1.5k, I think. And then I did the bookshelf tour for the 2k. And now for this milestone, I am doing yet another Q&A. And I asked you guys on my community tab to give me some juicy questions to answer, and so that is what I'm going to be doing in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to try to get through as many questions as I can, but quite a few of you asked the same thing, so if I don't show your question, that might be because I just didn't get to it or because someone else asked it. So let's go. First one, rank the Olympians in order of favorites, most powerful / best parent. So for that last one, I actually did a collab with Allison from The Book Lover. So gods, check it out. We ranked the gods in order of how good of a parent they were. So go check that out. It was a very fun video. And then in order of favorites, I think that might coincide, but not like the same. So Artemis and Apollo and Hestia are my favorites, I would say. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Like from the main 12 Olympians, I would say those are my favorites. And from the most powerful, I think it's pretty obvious. It's Aphrodite. She is the eldest god and she is the most powerful, so. Okay, so someone said, if you could ask the gods for a wish or gift, what would you ask for? And right now, since I study translating and interpreting, I would say I would ask for the gift of languages. I would love to be able to speak every single language in the world and obviously understand it. I currently only speak four languages, but yeah, it would be cool to just be able to communicate with everyone in the world. So that is what I would ask from them. Next up, what was the dumbest thing you did as a Percy Jackson fan? I don't, okay, here it is. I wrote a self-insert fanfiction of me and my friends into this universe that's not exactly the Percy Jackson universe. It's a parallel universe between ours and the Percy Jackson one, where I dated Leo Valdez and my friend dated Will Solis. So, yeah, I actually read the first couple of chapters for a video, so if you want to check it out, it's there. It is embarrassing and it's really cringy because, guys, remember, I wrote this in 9th grade, so I didn't have, let's say, the best judgment. I also didn't know I was aromantic and asexual, so that's always a fun time. Then finally, what is your favorite quote from the Heroes of Olympus? I'll have to think about this one. Wait, give me, well, Bob Says Hello is a great quote. It's a killer quote, you know, it hurts me every time. Oh, and obviously the, what was it? Oh, I knew this, I'm never letting go of you, never again. You know, when Percy or Annabeth are like falling into Tartarus, that whole speech that Percy gives. Me and my friend knew the whole scene by heart and we recreated it in the playground. So that was a fun time as well. Next up, if you had to remove one Percy Jackson in the Olympians or Heroes of Olympus ship, what would it be and why? We all know that the ship that I find more offensive is Calypso and Leo. So I don't think it's necessary and I don't think it adds anything to Leo's arc. I actually think it takes away from it. So I would throw that in the bin. We don't need it. And if we did have to have it, then I would like for Leo to have his own arc and then for their relationship to develop like during Trials of Apollo maybe. Who's your least favorite Olympian and why? I think we can all agree that it's, well, maybe not, because Zeus, Hera, and Ares. Aries is pretty sucky, but Suze is also pretty sucky. Hera, she's worse. So it's a fight between those three, I think. Next up, we have, are you in college / studying? If so, what are you studying? I'm actually not currently in college. Obviously, it's the summer, but I finished college in 2020. Finished college, obviously. I didn't get to actually graduate until this year. And in October, I will be starting my master's degree in, what would you call this in English? Conference interpreting. So, you know, when there's a bunch of people giving speeches, and then there's like a cabin way off in the back, and there's someone with like a cute little headset, and they're interpreting, so translating everything they say to you. So you put like earphones on, and you can hear what someone else is saying in a different language in real time. So that's what I will be doing this year. So that is going to be fun and very intimidating because it's hard, man, speaking in another language while you hear another language in your ears and having to say the whole thing. It's not gonna be easy, but I'm looking forward to it. Kinda. I'm scared. Next up is, who is the Percy Jackson character you relate to the most? I feel like I have answered this 100 times. It's either Percy, Magnus, or Leo. Do with that what you will. Next up is, what is your favorite book to movie / series / musical adaptation and why? I would say that most of the book to movie adaptations that I really like are because I haven't read the book, but judging from the books that I have read, I would say To All the Boys I Loved Before, the first movie is just perfection, literal perfection. Book to series would obviously have to be The Shadow and Bone, because I did not like the Shadow and Bone books. For me are a 3 out of 5. The Shadow and Bones Netflix series is like a 4.5 out of 5. Almost perfect, so close to perfection. And book to musical adaptations, obviously the Lightning Thief musical. I don't think there's another one. There's like an unofficial Harry Potter one, but officially I think there's only Percy Jackson. Correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, because I would love to know if there's more. If you were given the chance to enter a book, which would it be? It can only be the book, not a series or the universe. Ooh, I don't know, because if I say Percy Jackson, that's obviously like a huge mess. So none of my favorite series, because Illuminate, I would die. Percy Jackson, I would die. Six of Crows, dead. One of the main characters would kill me. So I don't know. It would have to be like a contemporary. I don't want to die. So most of my books would not be very good for that. So I'll just say Loveless, because the main character is Arrow Ace, so am I. So maybe if we met in college, we could like form a bond, you know? We could be BFFs, so that would be a cool one. I like that answer. Okay, and next up, if you could play one character in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians adaptation, who would it be and why? So obviously I'm too old to play any of the main characters. I feel like I could be like an unimportant counselor in Camp Half-Blood, or if not, just like a random person you see somewhere. Like someone who turns later into a monster would be cool. But one of the counselors in Camp Half-Blood would be my preferred role. But I think I'm too old for that. How old do you think I am? Let me know down below, because some people think I'm older than I am, and a lot of people seem to think that I'm way younger than I am. So please let me know. Next up is, what's your favorite quote from any book and why? Honestly, this is maybe purely out of nostalgia, but it's, look, I didn't want to be a half-blood. Honestly, that just like packs a punch, because it's the first line from the first Percy Jackson in the Olympians books, and it's what started it all. Maybe it's not such a like metaphorical quote, such a deep quote, but it's the thing that started it all, so it just has to be that. Basically, also any quote from the Six of Crows duology is just beautiful. It's filled with incredible quotes. Anything that Cass or Inesh say about each other, brick by brick, is also just like incredible, like tattoo worthy. Next up is, what is your favorite anime? And for me, that would be a tie between Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Haikyuu. Then who's your favorite character from anime, I guess, or like in general? My top 3 favorite characters of all time, in no particular order. Okay, there is an order. It's Percy Jackson, and then Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and then it's Stiles Stilinski. Well, not Stiles Stilinski. his name isn't Styles, it's a nickname, but Styles from Teen Wolf. What's your favorite love trope? My favorite trope for romance is not exactly enemies to lovers, just like rivals to lovers, because I don't like it when they actually like are on different sides like of the war. But if they're rivals and they like have this chemistry of like we kind of hate each other but we really respect each other because we're the best at what we do and you're the only one who can compete against me, that is the perfect trope. The perfect trope. Next up is, do you watch anime or read manga? And if you do, please tell us about your favorites. Obviously, I do. I just told you my favorite anime, and I do read a lot of manga. Here is a preview. Oh, I didn't organize this beforehand. It's kind of getting out of hand. With the Kimetsu no Yaiba collection, I have to reorganize my shelf again. But I do have a video, I don't know if it's out yet or not, but we'll see, about my favorite manga of all time, so go check that out. And if you're interested in knowing my favorite anime of all time, let me know down below, and I might do another video for that. Then we have, who is your least favorite character in the 7 and who is your favorite and why? My favorite is Percy and my least favorite would have to be... Honestly, it depends on the day. And I've talked about this a lot, so if you want to know more about this, go check out one of these videos because I'm done talking about this. Next up we have, what are you most excited about for the Percy Jackson and the Olympians adaptation? And honestly, this is very materialistic of me, but one of the things I'm most excited about is the merch. We haven't had a lot of official Percy Jackson merch, so I'm just so excited to see that finally happening if and when it finally comes out. And then I'm also really excited to just see one of my favorite stories, aka my favorite story of all time, like depicted by human beings. So that'll be fun, and to see what interpretation they have, because Rick has said that it's going to be like slightly different just in order to like adapt it to the big screen. So I'm looking forward to that, to see what changes they made. And also really excited to see the cast. Honestly, I really want to see who they cast. Next up is, what do you think your fatal flaw is? And I think personally, for a long time I was like, oh, it's the same as Percy, I'm too loyal. Honestly, I am loyal, but not to that extent. But I actually think I'm more like Annabeth. How do you pronounce this? Hubris? Hebrews? Hubris. I don't know. But, you know, excessive pride. Yeah, I can be a bit stubborn sometimes and a bit proud. Ask any of my friends, literally. So I think it might be that. Next up is, what is your Hogwarts house? It's Gryffindor, and if I had to be anything else, it would be Hufflepuff. What is your favorite Harry Potter character? I think that in the books, my favorite Harry Potter character was, I don't know. From the trio, I feel like it was Ron, because I didn't like Harry very much. And then I really enjoyed Jenny in the 6th book. She was so cool. And the Marauders are basically my favorite characters, even though we don't basically get to see a lot from them, especially when they were younger, and especially from James. It also asks, what is your Myers-Briggs personality type? And I'm confused because that's not the one where I'm INFP, right? That's the one where you get a number, I think? Next up is, how do you feel about Calypso? I feel like I've already answered that. I feel like she could have been used so much better. She was done dirty by Rick and by the fandom. I feel like if something else had happened with her character, the fandom would have liked her a lot better, but unfortunately it didn't. Go watch my Rewriting the Heroes of Olympus video because I talk about that in there. Second question, are you in any other fandoms that you don't talk about? So I feel like most of them I do talk about. I'm in the Marvel fandom, in the DC fandom, Teen Wolf fandom, most anime fandoms and manga fandoms. Also, what else? Like Percy Jackson, the Shadowhunters fandom, kinda. 17. What else? Like, what else do I like? I feel like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, fandom-wise? Yeah. So you guys know most of it. Next up we have you always known how to speak Spanish? Yes, it's my native language. I actually grew up in Spain because all of my family is Spanish, so I'm Spanish, guys. 100% confirmed. Not lying. Yeah, I grew up in Spain, and then I did live for 4 years in England, which is why I speak English this well, because most people in Spain do speak English, they're just not bilingual. And then we have how old were you when you first read Percy Jackson and the Olympians? 9th grade, exam season, so that would be around 13 or 14, I believe, because I'm a December baby. So I still would have been very young. I don't recall exactly the age I would be, but I know it was in 9th grade. Next up is, if you had the opportunity to ask Rick Riordan anything about the series, to confirm theories, to solve a plot hole, or even a small detail about anything, what would it be? And honestly, I really want to ask him if the Will and Nico sequel is going to be an actual thing, or if the Percy Bathe road trip is going to be an actual thing. I would ask to confirm if those are going to happen, because I just want to know, okay? I don't want to pressure him into writing them or writing them like now. I just want to know if they're eventually coming. Then we have you enjoyed any animes that you haven't then gotten the manga for? And yes, like a lot of them. Manga is expensive, guys, and especially if it's like a big series, which is what I usually enjoy, then it gets really expensive if it's more than 20 volumes. 20 volumes is very expensive. So yeah, a lot of them. Like most of my favorite shoujo animes, I don't have the mangas. So the one that I want the most, that I'm planning on buying, is the Lovely Complex one, because that one I just need. I've read it 100 times and it's one of my favorites and I don't have it. So also the Haikyuu, they're publishing them in Spain. So as soon as they come out in October, I am buying them. Next up we have, if you had to choose one fictional character to be and you had to live in a different universe, what would you choose? So if I had to be a fictional character, so obviously Percy would be great, but right now I'm thinking personality-wise, I'm most close with Styles from Teen Wolf. So I would be Styles because he's great. He's the only one in that show that doesn't have any powers, but he's still the greatest and he's the smartest. So there's that. And obviously Percy Jackson universe would be the one that I would choose. So Styles in the Percy Jackson universe would actually be a child of Athena, hands down. So that's great. And he also pretty much has ADHD, so that really works out for me. Next up is, who is your favorite author and why? I feel like Rick Riordan is the obvious answer, but besides him, besides his books, which I love, my favorite author is Aldous Oseman. She can do no wrong in my eyes. The books I've read from her, the graphic novels I've read from her, what I've seen from her, she's just like such a good person who adds so much diversity and representation into her books that I can't just like not love her. So she's my favorite author, like author slash person. So it's not only because of her writing, which would be my reason to choose any other author, but it's also because I really respect her as a person and I really enjoy what she puts out in her art. Okay, would you rather bathe in the river Styx or have your life tied to a piece of firewood? This one's easy. I would rather bathe in the river Styx. Why? It's more painful, but you also get superpowers afterwards, you know? Like, you're basically unkillable. You are killable, but it's very hard. So that would be my answer. Next up is, what have you enjoyed most about the growth of the channel? And honestly, this is gonna sound cheesy, but having more of you guys mean that I get to have more conversations with you guys, and it's really interesting. I really like interacting with you. I don't know if this is a me thing or most people do this, but I usually respond to at least like 75% of the comments, and I really enjoy like speaking directly to you guys. And I love when you guys give me recommendations because sometimes the creative juices just like ran out. So it's really nice. You like inspire me to do more. So I think that would be it. Do you plan on making a video dressing as other main Riordan characters, the Canes, Magnus, Meg, etc.? I do, but right now it's summer in Madrid, and summer in Madrid means that I would have to wear shorts and tank tops for every single one of them, which I'm not planning on doing. So as soon as it gets less hot, like I'm not going to die if I put long pants outside, I'm doing another one of those videos. Next up we have, what are your hobbies, not including books or bookish related stuff. So besides that, is reading manga and comics bookish related? I guess it is. I really enjoy watching shows, talking about shows, drawing, journaling, writing in general. I really love swimming and going to the beach. Are those hobbies? Yeah, those are my hobbies. Basically, most of my hobbies revolve around fandom. So, Also, making videos is a hobby. So there we go. Even though they're bookish videos, they don't necessarily have to be. So this is a hobby. Making videos and editing. Have you read The Hunger Games? Yes, I have. If so, who is your favorite character in it? I would have to say Peeta, I think. I remember him being my favorite. Which book would you prefer if you had to choose one? Six of Crows or Illuminate? You guys always coming for my favorite. And I've already decided after my reread of both Six of Crows and the first Illuminate books that it's Six of Crows. It essentially comes down to the characters, and I just feel a much stronger connection to the Six of Crows characters than the Illuminate ones because of obvious reasons. Each Illuminate book follows a different couple, so it's just harder to get attached. And that's why you guys finally made me choose, and I chose. We already know my top 3, and we finally get to know the order. If you could make a crossover with the Camp Half-Blood series, with which would you do it, and how do you think the main characters would interact with each other? Honestly, I love seeing characters in the Percy Jackson universe, you know, like Camp Half-Blood AU. So I would have to say Teen Wolf in Percy Jackson, because that would be great. It's so easy to see whose godly parents they would be for the Teen Wolf characters, so I think they'd be really funny. I feel like Annabeth and Styles would have a love-hate relationship because they're like both so smart but both so stubborn, and Styles can be a little much for people, so I think I would love to see their relationship. Next up, we have what are some of your favorite movies or TV shows? So we have Shadow and Bone, Teen Wolf. I'm currently watching H2O, Just Add Water, and I'm really enjoying it. What else? Favorite movies? You guys know I'm very, very bad with my favorites. I always forget. The Spider-Man movies, just trying to look at the DVDs I have. Oh, okay. Birds of Prey. Then we also have Wonder Woman 1. And also, I really enjoyed watching the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad sucks. But yeah, basically any female superhero movie, I'm all over that. If a person were to pull you out of the river Styx, who would it be? And honestly, I think one of my best friends, like any of them could do it. They could be like my emotional tether. And yeah, any of them would work pretty well. If you could date someone in Camp Half-Blood or Camp Jupiter, who would it be? Dating wise, it would be either Reina or Anna the Chase. Saddest death you cried on, I literally have a whole video, so I'll link that up there. If you live in Spain, why don't you produce Spanish content as well? Because everything book related for me is in English, like the TV shows, the books I read are in English. So just like talking about books in English comes more naturally to me. I started reading because of my friends in England, so all of the books I read that got me into reading were in English, so it just makes sense for me. Also, do you want Spanish content? Like, I don't think so. So it really doesn't matter. It would be the same content, but in another language. So, like, most English speakers only speak English, but most Spanish speakers can also speak English as well. So this is more accessible to more people. So there you go. Choose one, kill Reina or never let Percy Bathe happen. Honestly, never let Percy Bathe happen. Don't come for me. I love Percy Bathe more than anyone, more than any of you, but I'm not killing Reina. And Percy Bathe not happening would not be the end of the world. They could still be very good friends. Even if they weren't romantic, I would still love their friendship. So, don't come for me. I'm not killing Reina. Also, that's what Percy and Annabeth would want me to do. They would not want me to kill Reina. So, there we go. Next up we have, who is your favorite character in the Darkest Minds series? For me, that would have to be Liam. I was in love with him when I read him. And also Chubbs. Chubbs, like, really came through in the second book and the third books. He's just, like, the best comic relief there ever was in one of those dystopian books. So I love him so much. He is incredible. Even in the movie, he was pretty good. Is there a book series in which you sped through and couldn't remember which plot belonged to which book because of that? Probably, like, I'm pretty sure the ones from Fallen Kingdoms, I do not know what happened in each book, but I could not tell you. I could not tell you for the life of me what happened in each book. Is there a book series in which you waited for a sequel for so long that you almost forgot the plot of the previous book? Honestly, yeah. Most of Cassandra Clare books, there's so much plot or like character related stuff in each book, and they're like 600 pages long, and you have to wait for like a year and a half, that when it gets here I'm like, What was happening? What? So yeah. Is there a series in which you read so much fanfic that you forgot what was canon? Honestly, a little bit of Harry Potter, not that much Percy Jackson, like Harry Potter. Also, My Hero Academia, I've read a lot of fanfic for that. And finally, name a few ships in your OTP of your OTPs tier. We have Percy, Cass and Inesh, which I'm guessing is Kanesh, Stydia, Styles, and Lydia from Teen Wolf. We also have Spitfire, that would be Kid Flash and Artemis from Young Justice. I feel like those are like my top tier. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. I really like Roy and Hawkeye and Ed and Winry from Full Metal Alchemist. Also Clans. I can't believe all of you guys want me to kill someone off. Like, who deserves to die in Percy Jackson? No one. Only the bad guys. Like, I might be annoyed at some characters, but I would not kill them. So, stop asking me to. Finally, we're getting to the end. How do you manage YouTube and studies? Right now, I've done this for a year, and I have not had to, but I am going to have to do it in October. So I'll let you know then. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be messy, but I'll let you know when it happens. My schedule might change. Next up is, what is a ship or character that you think is super overrated? Leo and Calypso is overrated, Piper and Jason is overrated, I think, but those are just my opinions, you know, they can be your OTP. No problem, I respect your opinion, I just don't share it. And a character that is overrated, also Leo Valdez? No, I really like him as well, but he's probably overrated. The fandom got super obsessed with him, even though I was as well, but what are your favorite Celangelo moments? Honestly, the first time they meet again at Camp Half-Blood, when Nico brings the statue over, all those scenes in The Blood of Olympus are the best scenes in Blood of Olympus. So I really like those. Like, before they were in an official relationship, all the banter, everything, it's great. Next up, we have, who are your favorite actresses and actors? My favorite actress would have to be Zendaya, and my favorite actor would have to be Tom Holland. And a close second is Dylan O'Brien. Obviously, his style's from Teen Wolf, so. And lastly, we have Who is Your Favorite Person by Brooke Berry. And now I feel compelled to say that Brooke Berry, you are my favorite person. In case you don't know, Brooke Berry is one of my best friends. She actually lives in the United States. And because of the pandemic, we haven't seen each other since 2018. So, 3 years. So we definitely have to see each other this year. So yes, Brooke, you're one of my favorite people. Congrats, thank you for asking that question. And with that, we have wrapped the Q&A. What conclusions can we draw from it? I'm going to totally fail at having my master's degree while doing this YouTube channel. Also, I refused to kill anyone of the 7 or anyone in general. Like, guys, please stop asking me to kill someone. And third of all, yeah. I don't know if there's another conclusion here, probably, but I can't see it right now. So thank you guys for all your great comments. I loved going through these with you, and please hit the like if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, which is weird because you're watching this Q&A, but do it anyway, just in case. Click that bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. I post videos quite frequently on this channel, most Mondays and Fridays, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. And let's try to get our next milestone, which is 3K. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!